That was a great murder board that told you to drink the orange juice. You know what I'm saying? That was really good. Senator Kim.
Thank you, Chairman. Doctor, thanks for coming on out. I was looking through your opening statement. At the very end, you talked about FDA being the gold standard, and you said gold standard of transparency. And I was glad to hear that. I wanted to ask you, in terms of transparency, do you think it's important that we can ensure that there's public comments on actions of agencies and departments, overseeing important aspects of our lives?
Senator, first of all, it was good to meet with you, and I enjoyed our conversation. I do believe in civil discourse and have been an advocate for civil discourse coming out of an era of medical establishment censorship. So I do believe in the principle. Now, there are laws and regulations around public comment periods, and so in some situations, a public comment period is required by a regulation.
I would just suggest here that, this is really important. As you know, the public very concerned. You were talking about, we had a long conversation about how to restore trust. And I think a big part of that is about involving the public more. I think you saw some of that in terms of the questions regarding VRBPAC and just the need for that type of radical transparency, as Secretary Kennedy talks about. Recently, there was an effort addressing the Richardson waiver. I asked that you look into this if you're confirmed. But I do think it's important that we maintain public comment, something that so far this HHS has not abided by and something that has been longstanding practice. Another aspect of this is about transparency and accountability. So I guess I just wanted to ask you, if we have this sense of nothing to hide, we want to root out waste, fraud, corruption, do you support the roles of inspector generals?
Senator, I believe in the law, and I believe in the process of having inspector generals.
Okay. Well, if you are confirmed, I just urge you to do everything you can to ensure that HHS has an inspector general, has an ability for us to be able to oversee the accountability and to be able to root out some of the problems that I hope both of us can agree upon. So I just want to ask for your commitment on that front, that you would push to try to have an inspector general there at HHS.
Thank you, Senator.
When it comes to ethics, I heard you refer about, just concerns you want to have ethics review in terms of positions that people might be having, especially involving approval of drugs, other things. I guess I want to just ask you a little bit more on your end. It looked like I come across something that's saying that you were willing to divest from your own investments that were being perceived potentially as a conflict of interest if you are confirmed in this job. Is that correct?
Senator, as you are aware, the Office of Government Ethics does a comprehensive review of basically everything I own, every stock, every equity, every share. I would describe it as a colonoscopy with a small bowel follow-through. It took about 4 weeks, and they gave me the option of resigning from some things or maintaining a role, and I chose voluntarily to divest and resign from everything.
And I applaud that, and I think that should be the standard, especially for such important jobs. I guess I just wanted to ask you a little bit further here. Would you agree to recuse yourself from matters involving your former clients and employers if that comes before you at the FDA?
Senator, what I can promise you and commit to is to abide by all the guidance of the Office of Government Ethics.
I understand that, but you just talked about how you voluntarily took steps to be able to divest. That was not something you were required to do, though I do think you should have been. But I guess I just ask you again, would you consider recusing yourself? Because, look, again, if you're making decisions about a previous client of yours, you can see how the general public would react to that in terms of concern about whether or not, you are doing this for the best interest of the people or the best interest of people you know.
Senator, I have signed to agree to recusals as defined by the Office of Government Ethics in any area where they perceived a conflict could occur. And so I have already agreed to the recusals required by the Office of Government Ethics.
One last thing I just wanted to raise, and this is just something I guess I just want to ask: what is your feeling about these potential Medicaid cuts that are being reviewed right now in Congress?
Senator, as you know, the FDA is not involved in Medicaid or coverage decisions.
I understand that. I guess the reason I raise it is that in your opening remarks, you said, I thought it was really powerful. You said that your motto in life has been about treating everyone in the community equally, especially the most vulnerable amongst them. So I just urge you to just continue to press. You will have a seat at the table if you're confirmed on healthcare decisions across the administration. And Medicaid is essential for the most vulnerable amongst us, and treating everyone equally. Your drugs, it's not just about the approval. You'd want to see that get into the hands of Americans, make sure that they can use and benefit from them. So I do think that you have an interest in preserving Medicaid.
Thank you,
With that, I
Senator.
yield back.